Today is the fourth session of our satsangam based on the Sri Dakshinamoorthy Stothram. Dakshinamoorthy, Adi Guru, Adi Brahma Vidya Guru, Dakshinamoorthy, who is the embodiment of spiritual knowledge and wisdom. That's why Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya. Sadashiva. So it starts from the Sadashiva. So Dakshinamoorthy is the Adi Guru, Brahma Vidya Guru, who is showing us or who is opening up the relevance of inner wisdom through Mauna. Mauna Vyakhya Pragadita Parabrahma Tattvam Yuvan. So the relevance of inner wisdom in the spiritual journey. And you may ask, is there a separate journey like that? There is only one journey, that is spiritual journey. There is only Atmiya, nothing like a Laukika, because everything has to be divinized. That is how our great gurus, great masters envision. And our dharmam or samskaram is also talking about the Atmiya marga. And everything is integrated, nothing different. Right? When you do a work, when you work as an employee, when you as a father, when you as a mother, when you upbring your children, everything is spiritual there. There is nothing like Laukikam. So, what is really needed? The inner wisdom is needed to live in this world. Right? Inner wisdom is all about finding out the true potential. So that is where Bhagavan Dakshinamoorthy, who is the form of Lord Shiva and who is appearing as a handsome young guru, youth. And if you see the photo, or if you are able to see this kind of visualization in the temples, in the Dakshinamoorthy based temples, or the picture or the photo, you can see the stamping also, right? With the right leg stamping the dwarf of illusion. You can see that in the picture. Though the Dakshinamoorthy shows the Chinmudra, you can also see the right leg is stamping the dwarf of illusion. So here the dwarf is all about the temptations that we have towards the worldly affairs. The dwarf here represents the prayers, we can say the short-sighted pursuits, the worldly temptations, the worldly distractions. So don't allow the worldly distractions to come up. That is where the stamping using the right leg is representing, is showing. And another way, in this form of Dakshinamoorthy, one should also understand that the spiritual wisdom, the triumph of spiritual wisdom over the material distraction. That is where the Maunam, through the Maunam, through the Chinmudra Tattvam, one is able to get success in the spiritual wisdom, get the triumph of spiritual wisdom over the materialistic distractions. And it is just an experiential knowledge. Don't think that by keeping quiet through Maunam also the knowledge is flowing. This is experiential knowledge is flowing through the Maunam. When we say through the experiential knowledge, the direct experience is happening there. And we should understand that the limitations of the words are getting transcended here through the direct experience. That is where the direct realization happens. And in this context, you all appreciate that the rishis, the great sages, the four Kumaras, the Sanakadigal, who are they? They are the Sanakan, the eldest, who is known for the philosophical insights. Sanakan, Sanatanan, who is known for, or who is the embodiment of the eternal truth and knowledge. Sanakan, Sanatanan, Sanandanan, who is the embodiment of bliss, and the Sanat Kumaran, who is the youngest, who is the embodiment of spiritual liberation. So we need to understand that these Kumaras are also great rishis. So these Kumaras, they are asking, they are inquiring. They came to the Brahma Vidya Guru, Dakshinamoorthy, for what? To learn. The Kumaras, they are inquiring about the nature of reality, the true self. And through Maunam, Dakshinamoorthy, the Adi Brahma Vidya Guru, Dakshinamoorthy emphasizes that ultimate realization comes from the inner silence, inner stillness. That is where you will be able to go towards the depth of your own consciousness. Through that silence, through that stillness, you will be able to go towards the depth of your own consciousness. And that is the true reality. You are that Tattvamasi. So in this material world, we always get distracted. What is the distraction? Distraction is all about the assumed personalities that we create. When we do the transactions, we are also creating different assumptions and creating the assumed personalities. So that is the only issue, the Mula Vidya. The fundamental ignorance is there. Ignorance is not about avoiding transactions or the material world transactions. No. Mula Vidya is all about creating the assumed personalities. Mula Vidya is all about not knowing your true reality. Mula Vidya is all about not knowing your true self. Mula Vidya is all about identifying with something else and ignoring your true self, your own true nature, your own real identity. So that is where the verse number 1 gave a big eye-opening to all of us. We'll chant Vishwam Darpana Drishyamana Nagari Tulyam Nijandargadam Pashyannatmani Mayaya Behirivodbhudam Yada Nidraya Yas Sakshat Kurude Prabodha Samaye Swatmanamevadvayam Tasmai Sri Guru Murtaye Nama Idam Sri Dakshinamoorthaye. We have seen this verse in the last session. Still, we will try to go through this verse, try to get a gist of what is conveyed here. In a nutshell, we can say what you experience in the world, what you experience in the world is consciousness, and you are that. So the first verse is talking about the Tvam-padam. Here there are two analogies used, if you are able to recollect. The entire world is similar to a Vishwam Darpanam, so similar to a city which is being seen in a mirror, Darpanam. But it is located within oneself. When you see the reflection of a street in a big mirror, the mirror is enabling that reflection of the street. What is true here is the mirror. The reflection is not true. The mirror will exist without the reflection. And if you see the experience when we see our real life, the experience that we get in life is usually through the senses. You all agree, right? And through the senses, which is actually chopped up in different parts, right? You have different senses, and we gather a lot of information out of those senses. And in reality, these all are the mixings or the different, what is the right word, chopping up or different parts, because the senses are different. Senses are getting fragmented experiences or data. And what happens? The mind basically constructs a unified experience from the fragmented sensory inputs. Or if you see very technically, the video that we see, this many frames per second, and it will have still frames, predicted frames, etc. Technically, very technically, if you look. But our mind is just creating a unified experience, mind and brain together. But what mind is doing is basically unifying the fragmented sensory inputs and create an illusion. And this illusion is basically a separate thing, because the indriyas are getting different inputs. What mind is doing is basically stitching all these fragmented sensory inputs and create an illusion which is really separate. And what it does, the mind creates an illusion of a separate external reality, because at that time we basically the mind labels the different things, and that labeling is called as Maya, similar to the reflected image that you see in the mirror. So here in the Stothram, first verse says that upon enlightenment, one will be able to recognize that this separation, when we say separation, the nama rupam or names and forms, that we perceive in the mind is illusory and leading to the realization that all experiences arise from a single source. What is that single source? The single source is the pure consciousness. What is real there in the mirror is the only reality. Mirror is the instrument that is able to create a reflected view of the street. Similarly, the fragmented experiences are created by the mind and forms a kind of a unification. But we need to understand that all experiences arise from a single source, that is called as the pure consciousness. And one has to awaken One has to have a deep understanding that everything perceived is interconnected, and fundamentally they all are one. Behind the Nama Rupam there is a reality. Nama Rupams are not the reality. There is a reality behind the names and forms. So that reality is the essence of existence. For a flower to exist, for a boat to exist, for a person to exist, there needs to be existence. The essence of that we experience is the existence itself. And you are that existence, you are that nature, you are the nature of existence, you are that called as the self. And this is the transformative insight the first sloka is giving. That will, this when I say transformative insight, that encourages a shift from the identification that we create in our life, such as I am this body, I am this mind, I am this intellect, I am these senses, I am this, I am that, I am so on and so forth. So transformation is basically the shift that we are having. The shift is all about the wrong identifications that we create with different things, to recognize ourselves as the observer. So when we understand that my true nature is that unchanging truth, unchanging reality, we are able to transcend the dualities of the world, because those dualities are the names and forms. And when you see that the observer is you and the same truth is behind the names and forms that you see, there is no question of duality there. Then it becomes Advaitam. This is the same principle. So one will be able to transcend the dualities of the worldly life. That is what this first sloka is conveying, the idea of Darpana Nagari and Swapna Nagari. The world is like a reflection within oneself. So what it represents or it emphasizes that the notion that our perceptions are not separate from our consciousness. So this is why the first verse is called as Tum Padartha Vichara Sloka. Tum Padartha. Tum is all about the Jiva Atma. So through the Swapna Nagari, who is creating Swapna? Whether for your existence Swapnam is needed, otherwise also you exist. And when you wake up or when you come out of the Swapnam, you are realizing that Swapnam is not real, but you are real, you exist. And please understand that you exist otherwise also without the dream, without the Swapnam also you exist. So it means you, the true self, is the Adhishtanam, the supporter. You, the true self, is Satyam, that is the reality, that is the existence, that which is lending support to the Swapnam. And in Swapnam, you encounter multiple things. You are inside a building, you are becoming bankrupt, you are becoming millionaire. But the moment you come out of the Swapnam, you know that was a Swapnam. And will you get affected? You cannot get affected. You are an Asangan, you are unaffected. And who was there in Swapnam? And who is there after your Swapnam? Whether that reality, whether that witness has undergone any change, you have not changed. You are Advaitam, you are non-dual, like that mirror. And the reflected objects cannot be counted. Can you count the number of people in the dream? Or in your dream you saw that your family members are 8, but in reality the family members are only 6. Can you count another 2 more in the reality? So what is real is basically the experiencer, the observer, and you are the non-dual mirror, where the reflected objects cannot make any difference. There is no existence to the reflected objects, because they all are depending upon the original truth, the original Brahman. And that original Brahman is one without a second. So one's Atman is its reflection seen through the wheels of senses. Wheels of senses, mind and intellect. So when one understands this internally, and when one understands that the same principle is there behind the Nama Rupam, behind the names and forms, one will evolve to the level of understanding that the sameness of the Supreme Brahman and the Atma, my own true nature, both are same, and this is the indication of self-realization. It doesn't mean that you are going to announce everywhere that all behind all names and forms, the same Satyam is there. It is all about the real wisdom coming out. The sameness of the Supreme Brahman, you realize that becomes your own conviction. And that Atman is understood as your own self. That is the realization. So here, by the grace of this Guru, who is the Guru? Dakshinamoorthy. That Guru, through that Guru, the realization comes to me. And this Guru is the embodiment of the knowledge, who is embodied in the auspicious and the benign form of the Guru, who represents the truth. Tasmai Sri Guru Murtaye Nama Idam Sri Dakshinamurtaye. So I offer my profound salutations to the Guru, the Dakshinamurthy. So what is explained in the first verse is the Tvam Padam, the Jiva, the profoundness of the Jiva. And at the same time, the Maya, the concept of Maya. When you say the Maya, all the Namarupa, all the objectification, all the manifestations, right? So the concept of Maya, here we can see the Swapna Nagari and the Darpana Nagari, right? So here the simple analogies, what are those? The mirror object and the dream awakener, right? Or the one who sees the dream and the one who awakens. So the concept of Maya in the form of a dream, in the form of the objects that you see in the mirror, both examples or analogies are explaining the truth of yourself, the Jiva, and at the same time showing the concept of the Maya. So that is what the first verse is doing. I hope it is clear to all of you. We have seen this in the last session. Now we will go to the second sloka of Sri Dakshinamoorthy Stothram. बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः माया कल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्र्यचित्तविभ्रमः चित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यपि महायोगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये. So the first verse emphasized on the Tvam Padam. Now this verse is emphasizing on the Tat Padam. Tat is the higher reality, the Paramatma, the Brahman. Bijasyantari Vankuro Jagadidam. Brahman is the cause of this Jagat. Brahman is the cause of the universe. Jagat Karana Hetu is Brahman. The cause, when you say the cause, the Nimitta Karana, the intelligent cause. That cause which is behind the design and execution of the universe is Brahman. When we say that cause which is behind the design and execution, maybe from a scientific point of view, that cause which produces the effect is Brahman, called as the Nimitta Karana or the intelligent cause. Let me try to bring it in a very simple way. The furnitures, right? The wood furnitures. Who creates the furniture? The carpenter creates the furniture. Now we can also say that the robot, because robots are also producing the furnitures, right? Or we can say a carpenter in the form of robot. Carpenter creates the furniture. Or if you see the ornaments, who creates the ornament? The goldsmith. These days robots are also there. So the intelligent cause for producing an ornament or creating a furniture is the goldsmith or the carpenter. You all appreciate that. He is the one who designs, who executes and produces the effect. What is the effect here? A table or a good gold chain. But now the question is, for producing a table or a chair or for producing a gold chain, is the carpenter or the goldsmith alone can make that? I hope you all are with me. There is the necessity of a raw material needed, isn't it? You need the stuff to do the design and execution. Without the stuff to do the execution and design, you will not achieve anything. So that is where the raw material is needed. You need the Upadana Karana or the material cause. And in the real world, you can see the Nimitta Karanam and the Upadana Karanam. The intelligent cause and the material cause are different. Obviously, right? Because the carpenter is different from wood, the goldsmith is different from gold, or you say the robot is different from wood or gold. But whereas in a typical example like the spider creates the web. How the spider creates the web? I hope you all have an idea. The spider creates the web from its inside, right? So it means in this case the Nimitta Karana and Upadana Karana are same. The intelligent and material cause are same in the case of a spider, right? Because it creates that material from inside. It is not trying to fetch, say, some cotton thread or something like that. Correct? So now, when we see the analogy of intelligent cause and the material cause, now Upanishad declares that Brahman, the Paramatma, is the intelligent and material cause of the universe, like a spider. Brahman is the Jagat Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karanam. And what is the outcome? What is the product here? World is the product. Karyam is the world. Karanam is the Brahman. And Brahman is the reason for both Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karanam. Nimitta Karanam as well as the Upadana Karanam. Material cause as well as the intelligent cause. What is the implication here? The whole universe existed in the potential form in Brahman. Brahman is the seed of the universe. Let me try to bring another example here. The butter that we get out of milk. Is the butter already existing in the milk? Is it there, or this butter came from somewhere else? Butter is already there in the milk. But we see the manifestation as butter at some point of time. But this butter is already there in the milk in undifferentiated form. You all agree? This butter is there in the milk in the undifferentiated form. And we see the butter at some point of time as a manifestation when we undergo the process of churning out the butter out of the milk. We see that as a manifestation. But otherwise, the butter is there in the milk in the undifferentiated form. Here, the first line says the Bijasya, right? The Bijasyandari Vanguro Jagadid. Let us also use the different examples here. In a mango seed, can we say that the potential tree exists in a mango seed? A potential father or mother exists in a small baby or a child? Or can we say in our DNA, everything is there about us. A lot of information is there. Lot of things in terms of whatever disease can come, when it can come. Similarly, in a seed, everything, the potential tree exists in that seed, in a mango seed or a coconut, in a coconut, correct? So here, the creator and the creation is Brahman, the Ishwaran. Before the creation, the world was undifferentiated. Just as a sprout comes from a seed, the world has come forth. This world was, how is it? Vaichitra Chitrikridam Maya Viva Vijrambhayatyavi Maha. Okay. So this world was painted using many colors by giving rise to time and space. The world was projected by the creative capacity of the Brahman. How? Says that Yogiva Yasvechaya, through the Sankalpa, through the desire. How it is like? Through Maya Viva, like the desire of a magician. The world was there already. The world was already there. But I did not see that, because it was in an imperceptible form. Here it says Nirvikalpa Asid. In the Avyakta Rupam, the world exist in the Brahman. Similarly, the oil in gingerly seeds, or in the coconut, or the sugarcane juice that we can extract from the sugarcane, or little bit scientifically, the electrical energy which is there in which is implied or inherent in a waterfall. That's how the hydroelectric projects realize the electrical energy. Produce the electrical energy. So we should understand that Bijasya Anta Iva Ankura Jagat. The whole universe existed in Brahman in potential form. Idam Jagadidam Prang Nirvikalpam. Idam Jagat Nirvikalpam. Jagat was already there in the perceptible Avyaktam potential form in the Karanabhava. And what happens after that? Maya Kalpida Desha Kala Kalana Vaichitriya Chitri Kritam. So now the Desha Kalam. How the Desha Kalam comes? Through the Maya. Through the Maya Shakti. And Maya Shakti is not different from the Brahman. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita we saw that. The Para Prakriti and the Apara Prakriti. Para Prakriti is the Brahman and Apara Prakriti is Maya. Both are Anadi. So the Desha Kalam, the paintings or the influence of Desha Kalam caused by the Maya Shakti, which is the same part of the Brahman, the other part of a coin, the Apara Prakriti. So what happens? Through the Maya, the Jagat has become, or the Jagat has evolved into different names and forms. Anega Dvaida Jagat. Please understand that the Apara Prakriti is the Nama Rupam. Apara Prakriti is due to the influence of Maya, and that Apara Prakriti is not different from the Brahman. And the Apara Prakriti created the names and forms, the Nama Rupam, different objects. And what happened? Through the Maya, the non-dual Brahman which is there behind the Nama Rupam, and through the Maya, through the names and forms, the pluralistic universe came up. The diversification of the universe came up. The magnification of the universe came up. The multiplication of the universe came up, including the different manifestations, different diversifications. Let us go back to our day-to-day life. In the deep sleep, what happens? In the Jagrat, right? In Jagrat, we interact with different diversified things of the universe. We encounter magnification, we encounter multiplications. And in the deep sleep, where are those space-time object causations? The implications of the space-time object causations in the deep sleep are not there. What is there in the deep sleep? Where these varieties of the thoughts, varieties of Nama Rupam, when they all disappeared. They all disappeared because the mind is not dominant in the deep sleep. What is existing? The only non-dual Chaitanyam is existing in the deep sleep. So when we say the Maya Viva Vijrambhayatyapi Mahayogiva Yasvechaya, the Brahman is the creator, the raw material and the base for the universe. for the things to get manifested. Vijrumbhayatyapi, Vijrumbhayati, or we can say, the one who rolls out this universe is Brahman. Through the influence of Maya, the Brahman rolls out the universe. And how? Through the Swechaya, by the Sankalpam of the Brahman. Through the Maya Shakti. That is where in Lalita Sahasranama we can see Icha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Surupinye Namaha. Devi is called as the Maya Surupini. So through the Sankalpam of the Brahman, the Maya creates the Namarupam. Like we create dream. So Brahman rolls out or throws the Jagrat Prapancham. How? Like a Mayavi, like a magician who rolls out the dress, who takes out the bird out of his hat. And Mahayogi Vayasvechaya, the Mahayogi, the one who can have the Svecha, the Sankalpam, the one who is the substratum behind everything. There is no beginning and end in his Svecha Shakti for the creation. But we need to understand here one thing. We cannot think like the world came into picture like a Big Bang and all those things. So we need to analyze that total creation is a cyclical phenomena, not like something linear. Right? We need to think everything as a holistic, everything as a, what is the right word? The cyclical approach. We cannot have a linear thinking here. In one of the slokas of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, 8th chapter, Akshara Brahma Yogam, 18th verse, yeah. Avyaktad Vyaktaya Sarva Prabhavanti Aha Agame Ratri Agame Preliyante Tatra Eva Avyakta Satnyake. So here, how so what happens in the night? What happens in the night? Everything dissolves into whatever Vyakta, they all will dissolve into the unmanifest, into the Avyakta. That is what is happening daily, right? Ratri agame praliyande tatra eva avyakta satnyake. So, the manifested things, so when we come to the end of the day, when we come to the night, they all dissolve in that truth, in that reality. Everything plunges into that reality, which is unmanifested. So what is the unmanifested here? That Chaitanyam, that Swarupam, the true consciousness. I am that. Let me own up that truth. Let me take charge to know that reality. To that Jagat, and Jagat is the Karanam of whom? Karanam of the Brahman. My Guru, I salute that Dakshinamoorthy who is explaining here the Tat Padam, the higher reality, the higher truth, the Brahman. So here, through the verse, we can understand that the Ega Brahman is perceived as Anegam due to the Maya Shakti. And one has to understand that the truth behind the names and forms behind the Maya is the Eka Brahman. So here in this world, the influence of space, time, object causation create different identities. So one has to have the capability to see the reality behind the Namarupa. So here when you say the space, when space is looked in the vertical division, we can see past, present, future. Or if you see the space in a horizontal division or a direction, here, there, somewhere. Where is this influence of space in the deep sleep? And in deep sleep, we are touching the core, we are with that reality, and that reality is beyond the space-time object causation. There is no plurality in deep sleep. The plurality is there in your Jagrad and Swapnam. Desha, Kala exist. Due to that Desha, Kalam, plurality or multiplicity exists, and that exists due to the Maya Shakti. And Maya Shakti is the Vikshepa Shakti. And that Vikshepa Shakti is the illusion. And when one sees that there is one truth behind all those illusions, the primal ignorance, the Moola, what is the right word? Ajnanam will go away. And one will understand that the root cause of everything is in the control of the Supreme Brahman. And I am that Tattvamasi. That is what the Chinmudra Tattvam is showing. So when the net illusion of this Maya is lifted, we will find that essentially there is only one truth, and we all are that truth. So that is what the second sloka conveys us. First is all about the Tvam-padam, and second is the Tat-padam, and third verse is helping us to see the essential oneness of Tada and Tattvam Asiva is shown in the third, or is depicted in the third verse. We'll see the third verse in the next session. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Kayena Vaja Manasendriyarva Buddhyatmana Va Prakriti Swabhava Karomi Yadyat Sagalam Parasmai Narayana Yedi Samarpayami.